The tragedy of losing her husband to a rare form of brain cancer hit headlines struck a chord with the British public earlier this year. And as she continues to rebuild her and her family's life following the loss of her beloved husband, Ross Blair, actress and vlogger Holly Matthews has now spoken out about the need to start a conversation around grief. The 32-year-old, who starred in BBC children's drama Byker Grove, explained that speaking about her experience had been therapeutic and that she hoped her latest project could help others. Speaking to the Mirror's sister publication, The Coventry Telegraph, Holly spoke candidly about her life since she lost Ross to a 3-year battle with cancer in July. She explained, "I grew up on TV, so when I'm in front of a camera it feels natural. Talking about stuff and getting it out is actually therapeutic for me. When Ross died, I found myself looking for TED Talks online to learn how to deal with grief. I wanted to find people that had been through difficult stuff and been okay, but we don't see that, we just see the devastation. People whose partners are dying have messaged me to say they feel stronger after seeing how it played out for me. I've had women tell me I let them off feeling guilty for having a night out. Of course you can have a night out. Being happy doesn't mean you're fine. You can be devastated and happy at the same time, that's grief." She blamed society's own perception of loss and grief, adding that it made the surviving members of the family guilty. "People are sat in the shadows. As a society we don't talk about grief enough. People end up feeling guilty about positive emotions," she said. "Some of the advice I was given in the hospice was to learn to not avoid what was happening but to detach yourself. That certainly helped me. I want to be real about that, and if I can put it all out there I think that will help people. It's really nice to get those messages and it gives me joy to know that people can take something from it." Holly and her 2 girls, Brooke, 6, and Texas, 4, have recently moved and are now working on building their dream future home. "Ross designed that home with me. We sat with the architects and decided what we wanted together. So although it's tinged with sadness, it's a positive thing to see our vision coming to fruition," she said. There have been some difficult moments for the family over the last couple of months, but Holly said they are taking things one step at a time. "Moving house kind of forced me to start looking through Ross's belongings. I would come across notes and things in his handwriting and that was difficult. As a family we're very close and we try and support each other as much as we can." Ross, who died at the age of 32, came from a sporty family and was a dedicated football supporter. His dad Andy used to play for Coventry City and Aston Villa whilst his brother Matty currently plays for Doncaster Rovers. Holly said, "Watching Ross's brother Matty play at Arsenal this week was tough. Ross was a big Arsenal fan and he would have absolutely loved it. We all felt a loss of his presence then. His brother was such a huge part of his life, he idolized him." Holly has raised more than £12,000 for the Myton hospices, where Ross spent his last days, and is still receiving checks, but said she knows Ross would not want her to be consumed by fundraising. "I'm so grateful to Myton for what they did for Ross, and as far as hospices go they gave us a great experience. But equally, it wasn't a good time in my life and we have to move forward as well. I will of course continue to give to Myton. But I know Ross and he didn't want our lives to be dictated by him when he wasn't there. We set up the page so that we could give back for the care Ross had whilst he was there, which we definitely will." Holly is hoping to do more speaking events and mindset coaching, as well as wanting to hold events and workshops in Coventry towards the end of the year.